Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So, a very joyous, auspicious Janmashtami to all of you. Thank you for assembling here. So it's almost 8:40 here at night in India, and I think in the US the day has just begun. So we have a lot of time difference, but still all of us are observing the same day, Janmashtami. Today is Ashtami Tithi. And before I speak something about Shri Krishna's appearance, I would like to say that today I would like to discuss not so much about the appearance, but about what happened just before the appearance. So there is something which happened just before the appearance, and today I would like to discuss that particular topic. We'll begin with a quote from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, "The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared to the rising of the full moon in the sky on the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since Lord Krishna appeared on the 8th day of the waning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night, because of the Lord's appearance in the dynasty wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon was in an overjoyous condition. So by the grace of Krishna, he could appear as a full moon. To welcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the waning moon became a full moon in jubilation." So this is from the purport to Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 3rd chapter, 7th and 8th verses. So today, even Srila Prabhupada says the partial moon became the full moon because it was overjoyed. It was Ashtami Tithi, 5,000 years ago approximately, and on the Ashtami Tithi of this particular month of Bhadrapad, and Bhagwan Shri Krishna appeared. Before I continue speaking about this, I would also like to glorify the personality who is the origin of all Krishna Katha, who spoke Krishna Katha to Maharaj Parikshit, and who thus made all of us very fortunate. It is because of him that we have the Srimad Bhagavatam spoken to Parikshit Maharaj in such a sweet way. So it is none other than our Shukadev Goswami. And I would like to glorify Sri Shukadev Goswami by this verse that was composed by an ancient poet named Abhinav Kalidas. So he glorifies Shukadev Goswami as follows. Alakshitartha apilobhaniya dvijasya vacha shukanam bhajah ta eva chedartha yuta mukunda lila kulasta apikim punah syat. So he says, Alakshitartha apilobhaniya. Alakshit artha, even if it doesn't have any meaning, apilobhaniya, still it is very attractive to hear. What is very attractive to hear? Dvijasya vachah, the speech of a dvija. One meaning of dvija is brahmana. Another meaning of dvija is bird. So the speech of a brahmana, the speech of a bird. Shukanama bhajah. What to speak of if that dvija, if that bird carries the name Shuka, if that bird is named Shukadev Goswami. Ta eva chedartha yuta. And what to speak if it is spoken by Shukadev Goswami, and if it is artha yuta, if it is very meaningful speech. And what to speak of Mukunda Leela Kulas, if that speech is replete with Leela, pastimes of Mukunda. Api kim punah syat. What to speak of such glorious speech? So here is the translation. Even if devoid of any meaning, the sounds made by dvijas, birds or brahmanas. Brahmanas are dvijas, but birds are also dvijas, twice born, because the birds take birth twice. First time through an egg, and second time by hatching out of the egg. So the birds are also known as twice born dvijas. So even if devoid of any meaning, the sounds made by dvijas, birds or brahmanas, are enchanting to hear. What then to say if that particular dvija, brahmana or bird, is Shuka, parrot or Shukadev Goswami? And what to speak of that particular voice of Shukadev Goswami, which is filled with Mukunda's pastimes? It is indeed most glorious. So this is from a rare literature named Bhagavat Champuhu of Abhinav Kalidas, a glorification of Sri Shukadev Goswami. All glories to Sri Shukadev Goswami, who revealed to us all these pastimes of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Now, today is Ashtami, but we should know that not all Ashtamis are the same. There are two types of Ashtami Tithis, and these two types of Ashtami Tithis are mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. So the Hari Bhakti Vilas, in the 15th Vilas, 15th chapter, it says, Rohin Riksham Yada Krishna Paksheshtamyam Dvijottama Jayanti Nama Saprokta Sarva Papa Haratithi. Rohini Riksham Yada Krishna Pakshe. So when there is the conjunction of the Rohini Nakshatra, Krishna Pakshe Ashtamya, in the Ashtami Tithi of the dark fortnight of the month of Bhadrapad, then it is known as Jayanti. Jayanti Nama Saprokta. And when somebody observes it properly, Sarva Papa Haratithi, it drives away all the sins. So this is from the 15th Vilas, 15th chapter of Hari Bhakti Vilas. So Jayanti is one of the Janmashtamis, a special Janmashtami in which the Ashtami Tithi is aligned with the nakshatra named Rohini. So when the Ashtami Tithi is aligned with Rohini, then that Ashtami Tithi becomes known as Jayanti. And when it is not aligned with Rohini, it becomes known as normal Ashtami. So today here in India, till 11 o'clock, there is Ashtami Tithi. And this Ashtami Tithi till 11 o'clock is aligned not with Rohini, it is aligned with another nakshatra named Kritika. So today's Ashtami is not aligned with Rohini nakshatra, therefore it is Ashtami, Janmashtami. But on a particular year, when it becomes aligned with Rohini, then it becomes known as Jayanti. Later we will also read in the Gopal Champu that Krishna's appearance was on a Wednesday, Budhvar. So it's a very rare combination that it is Ashtami plus it is aligned with Rohini plus it is Budhvar, Wednesday. Such a combination is very, very rare. And when that combination occurs, that particular Jayanti is extremely potent, and one who observes such a Jayanti gains a lot in his or her spiritual life. So these are the two types of Ashtami Tithis, Jayanti and regular Janmashtami. So having seen this, dear devotees, today was the day when our Bhagavan appeared 5,000 years ago, and the exact time of his appearance is mentioned by our acharyas in their literature, especially Sri Jiva Goswami mentions this in the Gopal Champu. Previous years I have spoken this verse. This verse is from the Gopal Champu, and Sri Jiva Goswami specifies the exact time of Bhagavan's appearance. अष्टाविंश चतुर्युगे कलिशिरा सम्मर्द्य वैवस्वते भाद्रान्तर्बहुलाष्टमी मनुविधो पुत्रे विधोरुद्गमे योगे हर्षण नाम्नि शुद्ध विधिभे पूर्णः परः श्रीविधुर् नन्दन नंद वधू मुदे स्वयमुदय दहनाय धुन्वं स्तमा. Sri Jiva Goswami says, Ashtavimsha Chaturyuge, in the 28th cycle of the 4 yugas, Kali Shiraha Sammardya, having crushed the head of the serpent of Kali Yuga. Actually, Kali Yuga could have begun much earlier, but Lord Krishna, by his appearance, delayed it. It crushed the head of Kali Yuga, the first part of Kali Yuga, and delayed it. So, having crushed the head, the first part of the serpent of Kali Yuga, Vaivasvate, in the Manvantara name Vaivasvata. And on the 8th day of the dark fortnight of the month of Bhadrapad, on Wednesday, during the occurrence of the astrological Muhurta Yoga named Harshana, the joyous yoga, when the nakshatra named Rohini was purely aligned and the partial moon was rising, the full moon, Krishna-chandra, arose quickly to increase the joy of Yashoda and to destroy all sorrow and ignorance. So, this is the exact time of appearance of our Bhagavan, as mentioned in Shri Gopal Champu. But just as our Bhagavan was about to appear, many changes occurred in this world. And these changes have been beautifully described by Shri Shukadev Goswami. So Shri Shukadev Goswami describes many of these changes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. What changes occurred in Prakriti, in nature, before the appearance of Bhagavan. So Shri Shukadev Goswami specifies in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 3rd chapter verses 2 to 5. Disha prasedur निर्मलोडु गणोदयं महिमंगल भूयिष्ठ पुरग्राम प्रजाकरा नद्या प्रसन्न सलिला प्रदा जलरुह श्रिय द्विजालिकुल सन्नाद स्तवका वनराजय ववौ वायु सुख स्पर्श पुण्यगन्धवः शुचि अग्नयश्च द्विजातीनां शान्तास्तत्र समिन्धत मनांस्यासन् प्रसन्नानि साधुरामसुरद्रुहां जायमाने जने तस्मिन् नेदुर्दुन्दुभयसमम्. Sri Shukadev Goswami describes all the weather changes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. How the weather changed, the environment changed before Bhagavan Shri Krishna was about to appear. So, what are the changes? First, the sun, moon, and constellations, they shone very peacefully. Second, all the directions, Disha, appeared extremely pleasing. Third, the beautiful stars, Tarakaha, twinkled in the cloudless sky. So all these dear devotees, please try to visualize in your heart that the sun, moon, and constellations, they all shone peacefully. The directions were extremely pleasing. All the directions appeared beautiful. The stars were twinkling in the cloudless sky and decorated with towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds. The earth appeared all auspicious. You can see her image here on the left-hand side. She appeared all auspicious, decorated by towns, villages, mines, and pasturing grounds. The rivers flowed happily with clear waters. The lakes, full of lilies and lotuses, appeared very beautiful. In the forests, full of flowers and leaves, bees and birds began to sing. So the forest appeared to sing because of the singing of bees and birds. And a pure breeze began to blow. The fire of the Brahmana sacrifices burnt calmly yet steadily. All the sadhus' minds were pleased, and kettledrums sounded from the heavenly planets. So all these changes occurred in the environment when Bhagavan was about to appear. So, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, are you there on the call?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am there.
Mataji, can you count the number of changes? How many changes are here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 12, Prabhu?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
No,
8, 11.
changes are not 12.
11.
1, 2,
Yeah, so total of 11 changes
11.
I can see.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
So Mataji, please note the 11 changes. And
Yeah.
can
Yes.
you see where I'm going with this? Because for every change, there is going to be a very sweet reason, Mataji. And our Acharya, Sri Hari Suri, is going to bring various reasons for each and every change. Would you like to hear the reasons for each and every change, Mataji?
Prabhuji, of course.
So, dear devotees, before Bhagwan's appearance, the entire environment had changed, and all these factors of environmental change are in front of us. Our devotee commentator Sri Hari Suri is going to explain each and every change in great detail, and I'm just giving a small fraction, maybe less than 3 or 4% of the entirety of reasons that he has specified in his work Bhakti Rasayanam. So dear devotees, let's go on a journey where all these environmental factors have changed. First, before Bhagwan appeared, all the constellations, nakshatras, glowed very peacefully. So all the nakshatras in the sky, they were glowing very peacefully. And our devotee poet, Sri Hari Suri, he has a habit of asking why for each and every environmental change, for each and every event that occurs in Krishna Lila. So Sri Hari Suri asks the same question here. Why did the constellation start glowing very peacefully? Why were the constellations happy? So he answers. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, any reason why the constellations were happy?
Because the Supreme Lord was appearing.
That's a common reason why everyone was happy. We need a very specific reason, why the constellations were very happy. So he gives a very good reason. This verse is in the meter Anushtup. Sanmargameva swachhasham kartum abhyudyate vidhau yuktaiva kantihi shantischa sada satpathavartinah. The Sri Hari Suri says, Sanmargameva swachhasham kartum abhyudyate vidhau. When Vidhu, one meaning of Vidhu is the moon, has personally arisen to make the sun marga. Sun marga means sky. Completely swachha asha. Asha means disha. Swachha asha, completely clear in all directions. Then it is obvious that those constellations that travel on that sun marga, on that sky, will definitely become peaceful and effulgent. Good realization, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Or
Wonderful.
is there something more? So
Looks like it should be some more.
yes, something more is there. So he's never a simple poet, always giving all the complexities in the service of Bhagavan. So there is a hidden meaning here, dear devotees. When Vidhu, another meaning of Vidhu is Krishna, has personally arisen to make the Sat Marg, the Marg of the Sat, the path of the sadhus, completely Swachha Asha. Asha means desires, or free. Swachha Asha means free of all desires. Then it is obvious that those newcomers that travel on the Sun Marga will become peaceful and effulgent. So there are two meanings. One meaning relates to the
Hariva.
constellations, and another meaning relates to us sadhus. So this is the reason why the constellations, because the constellations are walking on the Sun Marga, the sky, and Vidhu, the moon, or Bhagwan Shri Krishna, has personally arisen to make the Sun Marga completely Swachha Asha, completely free of all desires. Therefore, it is obvious that these constellations started glowing out of happiness. This was merely the first change, dear devotees. After this, all the directions, the dishas, appeared extremely pleasing. So all the directions, they were completely pleased. And there should be a reason behind the directions being pleased. Sri Hari Suri gives a brilliant reason for the directions being pleased. Sri Hari Suri says, Haritvam haravevameva susiddham nirabhadhamastiti yuktam dishasta subhavyechyutatma prasannodaye satyalam prapurachachyutatma prasadam. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, I would like to involve you in translating this verse. So, Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, in Sanskrit, whenever we want to denote the mood or the essence of anything, we add a suffix tva. Can you see haritva? So the tva suffix
Yes,
has been added. Tva means ness. For example, if we say white and whiteness, black and blackness, so that ness is denoted by the suffix tva. So Mataji, does a cow have cowness?
No, Prabhu.
Yes, a cow has cowness in it. Otherwise, how is it known as cow? Does white have whiteness?
Oh. Yes, white has whiteness.
Does black have blackness?
Yes, Prabhu.
So does Hari have haritva, hariness?
Yes.
100%. So Sri Hari Suri says,
Yes.
Haritvam haravevam eva susiddham. It is siddham. It is correct. Every object has its own essence in itself. So Hari has, Mataji, what does Hari have?
Hari has the capability of harna, like of to take over all the inauspicious.
Haritva. Hari has haritva. Just say the direct word. What does Hari have?
Hari has haritva.
Very nice. Similarly, in Sanskrit, the directions are also known as harit. Harit, harit. So the directions will also have, the harit will also have what, Mataji?
Harit.
Haritva. Very good.
Yeah.
So it's a fact that haritva, hariness is present in Hari. That same haritva or directionness is also present in all the harit, because harit means directions. So thus, when the world became endowed with haritva, hariness, that is the presence of Krishna, then the harit directions also endowed themselves with haritva. Another meaning of harit is green. So they all became green, Mataji, and they all attained great pleasure. All directions were completely green. All harit, all directions became haritva. They all became green and happy, Mataji. I hope.
Yes.
So all directions were extremely pleased by the appearance of Hari. So this is the reason why the directions appeared very pleasing. Next, the stars or the tarakas, they twinkled in the sky. And Sri Hari Suri says there is a very good reason why the tarakas, the stars, twinkled in the sky. He says, And this verse is in the meter Vasanta Tilakam. Sadharanopi sukriti yadi yat kule syat tatpurvajo bhavati tena hi nirmalatma yuktam tadesha janushodu ganochhakantir asirasau yadiha purvajapum priyatma. He says sadharanopi sukriti. He says even if it's a fact that even if an ordinary child, but he is sukriti, he has some good fortune. If he takes birth in a particular family, yat kule syat, then what happens in that family? Tat purvajo bhavati. Then all the ancestors, what do they become? Nirmalatma, joyous and effulgent. Yuktam, then what then to speak of? Definitely. Tadesha janushodu ganochhakantir. So what then to speak of the birth of the Supreme Lord? By his very birth, he made the taras, the stars, extremely happy and effulgent because he is related to their common husband. Mataji, who is the husband of the taras?
Chandra.
Chandra,
Yeah.
moon.
Yes. So the moon is the husband of all the taras. And the moon is the Purvaja. Purvaja, Pum. He is the ancestor male of Bhagavan. And Priyatma, Bhagavan is very
Yes.
dear to him. And these are the wives of the Chandra. And therefore they also became very happy when the most effulgent personality appeared in their particular family. Now, it is said that the Bhumi, she appeared Mangala, very auspicious. The earth appeared very auspicious. And why did the earth become very auspicious, as if decorated? So we read that the earth decorated herself with towns, cities, villages, mines, etc. So decorating with mines is like decorating with jewels. Decorating with forests is like decorating with flowers. So the earth decorated herself in various ways. Sri Hari Suri says there's a brilliant reason behind why the earth decorated herself in such a way. He composes a beautiful verse in the meter Shardula Vikriditam. This verse is as follows. Varnitvadyadupendra tonu vihita brahmarpanadramto yad sita patitopya bhunna cha sukham shvashrutvatastadrisham tad saubhagya sukham kiladya phalitam tad bhogatosmin bhaved अस्माद्वासक सच्चिकेव समभूत भूमिस्तदात्युज्ज्वला. So, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, the Bhumi Devi is very happy. Can you please tell me why?
In a hidden reason, I don't know, Prabhu. Maybe because Bhumi Devi went to Brahma, with Brahma, that Lord should appear, and today the Lord is appearing. So definitely she is happy.
Okay, but there is a very hidden reason, Mataji. There is a very big reason why she is happy. Bhumi, she is the wife of somebody. Whose wife is she?
Varaha Avtara, Prabhuji.
Varaha
She is
Dev.
wife of Varaha.
Yeah, Varaha
And
Dev.
Varaha Dev, and he lifted Bhumi Mata, and she married at that Avatara.
Oh.
And also the other reason, maybe I am thinking, in the morning class, I heard that the 5 elements, how they are associated with the Lord Krishna. And when in Gokula, right, where Krishna started eating the dirt on the earth, everyone started complaining the Damodar Leela, and before that also, he opened his mouth and Yasodamaya saw all the universe in his mouth, right? So the earth is also one element that Krishna is so much associated, and he started eating that mud also.
Okay, nice. So, these are good reasons. Here the secret reason, Mataji. The earth was married to Varahadev, but after marriage, Varahadev immediately disappeared. And the earth did not get to spend any time with Varahadev here. Then after Varaha, the next incarnation was, Vamanadev. Could the earth marry Vamanadev? Sri Hari Suri says no. Varnitvat. because he was Varni. Varni means Vaman was brahmachari, and therefore she could not marry him and she could not enjoy with him. Yad Upendrato. So Vaman Dev she could not marry. So she thought maybe next incarnation. Then came Parshuram. But even Parshuram she could not marry. Why? Anuvihita Brahmarpanad Ramato. Because this Ram, he gifted the entire earth to the Brahmanas. Brahmarpanad. So he gifted the entire earth to the Brahmanas. So she could not marry him in that incarnation. Yat Sita Patito. Then she thought maybe in the next incarnation. But when he appeared as Sita Pati, Bhagavan Ram, Abhun Nacha Sukham. Still she could not get the happiness of union with him. Why? Swashrutvatas. Because she became his mother-in-law in that particular incarnation. Because her daughter was Sita and Sita's husband was Ram. So she thought even in this form I cannot unite with him and I cannot become happy. But tat saubhagya sukham kiladya phalitam. But in this incarnation, definitely he will have the pleasure of bhoga. One meaning of bhoga is, enjoyment with a wife. Another meaning of bhoga is Bhagavan will directly have bhoga, directly eat me in this incarnation. Therefore, thinking like this, Bhumi became extremely happy and she effulgently decorated herself like a Vasaka Sajjika, like a eager wife who's waiting for her husband. She decorates herself. Similarly, Bhumi Devi also decorated herself. So Vasaka Sajjika is a term used by Sri Rupa Goswami in Ujjwal Nilmani. And Vasaka Sajjika means a lady who's waiting for her lover and she decorates herself immensely, anticipating her lover to come. So in this incarnation, not only is he going to, not have those previous conditions, but in this incarnation, he will also have bhoga. One meaning of bhoga is enjoyment. Another meaning of bhoga is he'll directly have bhoga. He'll directly eat me. So in this way, Bhumi became very happy and therefore she decorated herself. So very sweet realization. Next, the river started flowing very joyously. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, please tell me a good reason why the river started flowing joyously.
Because Krishna is going to bathe in them like Yamuna Devi.
Then Yamuna should be happy.
Mm. I don't know, Prabhu.
So, Sri Hari Suri gives a very brilliant reason. Please hear, Mataji. Nityam sannihitopi bhartr sadane nasma viralokito jamatasti sakidrisha swayamaho yah samvritah padmaya ityabhyantara vasanam sulabham niryatna labhyamito निश्चित्य स्फुटनाम रूप विभवास्ताकिं तथा संस्tada. The river thought, Nityam sannihitopi bhartr sadane. Oh, this is our Jamai Raja. He is our, son-in-law. And he is Ghar Jamai. What is the meaning of Ghar Jamai? Ghar Jamai means he stays in our home. Usually after marriage, a boy stays in his home or his parents' home. But after marriage, he is staying not in his parents' home, not in his home, he is staying in our home. So we are his mother-in-law. How are the rivers his mother-in-law? Because the rivers are all married to the ocean. The name of the ocean is Saritpatihi, the lord of the rivers. So the rivers are all married to the ocean. And Bhagavan Vishnu stays within the ocean. So his abode is in the ocean. So, and it was this ocean from whom Lakshmi Devi arose during the churning. So, in this way, Lakshmi is a daughter of the oceans. The rivers are thus the mothers of Lakshmi Devi. And thus, our Bhagavan is Jamata, Jamai, or the son-in-law of all these rivers and the ocean. But Jamata asti sakidrisha. What sort of son-in-law is this? Swayamaho, who stays in our abode, but Samvritaha, who's always covered, hidden. By whom? Padmaya, by the effulgence of Lakshmi Devi. So we can't see him because he is Yoga Maya Samavrita. He is always covered by Lakshmi, our daughter. Ityabhyantara Vasanam Asulabham. They had the desire to see their own son-in-law for a long time, but it was very difficult. But Niryatna Labhyam Ito, but henceforth it will be very easy to see him because he will appear on earth and he will give darshan to all of us. Nischitya Sphutanama Rupa Vibhavas. Thus all the rivers with all their names and forms became extremely joyous and started flowing profusely. So this is the reason why the river started flowing profusely. And this is just one of the reasons. There are many other reasons for each and every environmental change. So this is one of the reasons. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, a good reason, do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji, perfect.
All right. So next, it is said that the lakes appeared very beautiful by the lotuses and lilies that were growing within them. And Sri Hari Suri gives a very beautiful reason for the lakes appearing very beautiful. He composes a verse in the same meter. Kaschit sampadamuttamamadigataschetarhitena pare kartarthyam bahumanayantyati jadas tajjati matvashrita etad vyaktam abhudhradaya daghila phulambujata shriya Sanchintya swakamatra bhavi bhagavat kridam tamekam hrudam. So Mataji, Sri Hari Suri says, Kaschit sampadam uttamam adhigatas chetarhitena pare kartarthyam bahumana yanti ati jadas. Ati jada. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, what is the meaning of jada?
Something which doesn't have consciousness.
Yes, or dull, you know,
Dull.
or retarded. And what is ati jada?
Ati jada means which is more retarded. Means
Yeah, very retarded.
superlative degree. Yeah, superlative degree of
Yes.
dullness.
So in the second line, ati jadas, if there is a family of, you know, super retarded people, there in Sanskrit, da and la are interchangeable. So jada becomes jala. If there is a family full of jala or jada means very retarded. But kaschit sampadam uttamam adhigatas. But if one member of the family attains a great fortune, then something happens, Mataji. What happens to the other members of the family? How do they feel?
They also feel very happy.
Yes. Kartarthyam bahumanayanti. They become kritarth, they become fulfilled. Ati jadas, even though they are ati jada, extremely dull, or ati jala, extremely full of water. Why do they become happy? Tajjati matvashrita. They consider themselves to be of the same family. Etad vyaktam abhud hrida. This was clearly expressed in all the hradas, in all the lakes. Yadakhilaha. Because these hradas are also ati jada, ati jala, full of water. But Pullambujata Shriya, they became full of lotuses, became happy. Sanchintya swakamatra bhavi bhagavat kridam tamekam hridam. Because they knew that one of our family member, one hrada, will become the personal playground of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Which hrada, Mataji?
Yamuna Devi.
No, Kaliya hrada. The lake where, yes, so one of the hrada, one of our family members is going to become the eternal pastime place. So although we are ati jada, ati jala, we are fools or we are full of water, still one of our family members is going to attain immense greatness. Therefore all these, you know, hradas, all the other lakes also became very happy. So here is the translation. In an entire family of jadas, fools, if one person attains greatness, then all the other family members consider themselves very great too, because they think themselves to be related to that great one. This was clearly expressed by the lakes blossoming with lotuses and lilies, since they clearly realized that even though they are jada or jala, these fools are full of water, still one of their family member the Kaliya Hrida, the Kaliya lake, is going to become the eternal pastime place of the Lord. So for this reason, all the other jadas, all the other lakes became very happy and appeared very beautiful. Now, the forests also came alive. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, the birds were chirping loudly and the forest came alive. Please tell me the reason, Mataji. Why did the forest come alive with the chirping of the birds?
Now I have to think broader. I don't know, Prabhu.
There has to be a reason. You know,
Yes,
nothing
of course.
happens without a reason. Mando pina pravartate. Even a dull person doesn't do anything without a reason. Do you agree or not, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
So every change.
Because Krishna is Yamuna Tira Vanachari, right, Prabhuji? So he is the lord of all the forests and all the vanas there.
Okay. But then the forest should become happy. Why did the forest express its happiness through the birds?
That's the sound of the forest where we can hear from the chirping of the birds.
Oh, very nice. Okay, good. So please hear the confidential reason. You can see the birds. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, do the birds fly in a straight line or do they fly zigzag?
Zigzag.
Yes. So the birds were thinking, Tiryanchopi bhave mesha sadaye kshana lakshita vayam dhanya sada vanyam iti vochur dvijalayah. The birds were thinking, for an entire lifetime we have been Tiryanchaha. Tiryanchaha means Tiryak. We walk on crooked paths. There are two meanings to Tiryanchaha. We fly on crooked paths or we walk on crooked paths. We have behaved in a crooked way in our entire lifetime. Still, Sadaya Ikshana Lakshita, still the all-merciful Lord will appear in Vrindavan and now cast his sidelong glance upon us. Vayam Dhanya Sadavanyam. We have now become eternally fortunate, most fortunate. Dhanya. The birds in the forest loudly sang out in joyous union, knowing that even though they are walking on crooked paths throughout their life, still Bhagavan will give him his merciful sidelong glance. Does it sound like a good reason, Kirtida Sundari Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Do we want to have the same good fortune, Mataji? I mean, you may not be walking on a crooked path, but I have been walking.
No, I am the one, Prabhu. I am the one who is walking on the crooked path, so I should be more happy that yes, now Supreme Lord is there.
So we have become eternally fortunate, most fortunate. The birds in the forest just loudly sang out in joyous union. Now, Mataji, a breeze began to blow, in a very mild fashion. And there is a good reason why the breeze began to blow in a very mild manner. Sri Hari Suri gives this reason. And I may have spoken this reason before, but it's a very brilliant reason. Sri Hari Suri says, Putrena praghanumata kritayasya bhuya Shushrushayaatra brishamasmi kritartha eva Sakshat tathapyahamihapi samachareyam Sevamatah parichachar tadasa dasaha. So Mataji, who is the son of the wind god?
Hanuman.
Yes. So the wind god Vayudev was thinking, Putrena prag Hanumata. By my son Hanuman, Prag, previous incarnation, Kritaya asya bhuyah sushrushaya. So he has rendered immense service in the past. And asmi kritartha eva. And I have become completely fortunate simply by my son's service. Still, sakshat tathapi ahamihapi samacharayam. Still, I wish to render service personally this time. Therefore, ataha parichachara tadasadasa. Therefore, he began rendering service to the Lord by blowing mildly. So this is the reason why the breeze began to blow very mildly just before Bhagavan appeared on planet Earth. Now, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, it was said that the sacrificial fires, all the fires, they started burning very calmly. And there should be a good reason for the sacrificial fires burning calmly. Would anybody like to try? Why did the sacrificial fires, why did the fire started burning calmly just before Bhagwan appeared? Kirtida Sundari Mataji, any guesses?
No, Prabhuji.
This one's very difficult, right?
Can I take a guess? Can I take a guess?
Yes, please.
Completely out of the blue, I don't know, but before all of the now the brahmanas can offer the oblations nicely, so they're happy. The fires are happy that now we're going to have nice oblations, and the Lord will be there. I don't know, and he's going to go to the brahmanas and request food from them. So I don't know, just some things.
Okay, but if the fires would be happy, they should have burnt, more aggressively. They should have consumed more.
Hare Krishna.
They should have consumed more, but they were burning calmly. Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. I think maybe because usually when we do yagya, like we try to make the fires big so it can reach Vaikuntha Krishna. But now
Okay.
Krishna himself is already present, so it does not need to. They don't need to rise up, and it's already happy that Krishna has come to me instead of me going to Krishna.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice, Prabhuji. How did you come up with that reason? So you're
No
thinking
idea,
of,
Prabhu. No
you're
idea.
thinking about Krishna Leela, Prabhu. You're thinking deeply about Krishna Leela. So that's very nice, Prabhu. But Sri Hari Suri wants to give a
Prabhuji,
very
Hare
different.
Krishna.
Yes.
Can I take one more guess, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Because I'm thinking about how like Krishna swallowed all the fire, right? When there is a Davanala,
Right.
actually twice it happened. He swallowed everything and once, and the other time when Gopas are stuck in the fire there, he asked them
Right.
to close their eyes. He took them
Right.
away from the fire. So
Right.
no one is afraid of fire anymore. So maybe because of the shame or something, the fire is burning it low.
Yeah, but that was after he swallowed. Right now, he has not swallowed. He's yet to appear. So please hear, Mataji. Very nice attempt, but please hear the confidential reason given by our devotee poet Sri Hari Suri. Sri Hari Suri says, पातिव्रत्य भयाद्विदेह दुहितो स्त्वत्क्रोध भीत्याथवा शान्तो सावनलः कृपापदमभूत् तेनैव ते श्रीपते शान्ता एव निसर्गतो वयममी स्म सम्प्रतीति प्रभु ख्यात्यै शान्ततरार्चिषः समभवन् सर्वे द्विजात्यग्नया. So, Sri Hari Suri says, Pati Vratya Bhayad Videha Duhitus. In previous incarnation, Krishna appeared as Lord Ram. And Krishna's wife in that incarnation was Sita Devi. And Sita Devi was put through a fire test, Agni Pariksha. And at that time, Pati Vratya Bhayad, being afraid of her chastity, the fires became extremely calm. Did they not become calm, Kirtida Sundari Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Tvat krodha bhitya athava, or maybe they became calm because of Lord Ram's anger. Because if they harm Sita in any way, Lord Ram will be angry on the fire. Shanto sa vanala, this fire became very calm. And kripa padam abhut, by this he obtained the mercy of Lord Ram. Te naivate shripate, O Lord Ram, the fires are saying, from that day onwards, whenever you come in front of us, we always become calm because we are afraid of you. Maybe you will put us again through a test. It was not Sita's test, but it was our test. Therefore, Shanta eva nisargato vayamami. Henceforth, we have decided whenever you will come, we will remain Shanta. Sampratiti. Right now also we are Shanta. So Khyatya, to tell this to the Lord, Shanta tararchisha, they became very calm in their flames. Sarve dvijatyagneya, all the flames of the fire. So previously in the incarnation of Ram, these fires became completely calm in front of Sita Devi during the fire test. This happened either due to the fear of her chastity or the fear of the Lord himself. By doing so, these fires became very dear to you, O Lord. These fires now wanted to say that we have learned to be naturally calm in your presence from that day onwards. Hence, they all burned steadily and calmly. A good motivation to remain calm, Kirtida Sundari Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very good.
So, finally, the sadhus were overjoyed. And the sadhus were overjoyed, Sri Hari Suri says. There is a very good reason. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, let's attempt something. Why were the sadhus overjoyed?
Now they can sing the glories. They have the reason to sing the glories of Krishna.
Okay, that they have even before his incarnation.
Because Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam.
Okay, that's
Now
a good
they
reason.
can relish the pastimes with Krishna.
Okay, very good. Very nice, Mataji. So, Sri Hari Suri gives a very beautiful reason. These are all good reasons. And Sri Hari Suri gives a very beautiful reason. Yad yad rupamaham dadhami bahudha tattvika jnanata shrantanyeva bhavanti sadhu hridayanyevam vibhavyachyuta asma svanyatame svavasamamale kritvaiva sampratyabhut vyakto savititani tatsukhavashadasan prasannani va. So he,
Prabhuji,
so
another reason that they can be married to Krishna,
how?
because in Ramavatar, in Dandakarnya forest, all the sages, they requested, and Lord Rama said that next yuga I can.
Okay, but in this time they have all become gopis, Rishичari gopis. But the verse was saying that those who are sadhus in this incarnation, they became very happy. So please hear carefully, Mataji. Yad yad rupamaham dadhami bahuda. Krishna says, I have taken many forms previously in various ways. Tat tattvika ajnanatah. So Mataji, is it very easy to understand the tattva behind all those forms, or is it very difficult to understand the entire tattva?
It's very difficult, Prabhu.
So Shrantani eva bhavanti sadhu hridayani. The hearts of all the sadhus become very tired in trying to understand all these tattvas in all these previous incarnations. Evam vibhavya, thinking this, Achyutah, our Lord Achyuta did something. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, thinking that our sadhus' hearts will become very, very tired, in trying to understand my tattva through their heart and through their mind. So our Lord did something. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, what did our Lord do? Please let me know. Please tell me. He did something wonderful.
I can't translate from Sanskrit.
He selected one of the best sadhus, the best sadhu on planet Earth, and appeared directly in and appeared directly in the heart of that sadhu first, and then in his mind. Whom did he select? He selected
Vasudev.
Vasudev. So he appeared in the heart of Vasudev and then in the mind. And now, because he appeared first in the heart and the mind, so it will become very easy for the heart and the mind to understand him this time. Therefore, all the sadhus became very happy that you selected one of our representatives and chose to appear directly in his heart. Therefore, all the sadhus became very happy. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, are you happy on hearing this reason?
Yes, Prabhu, but never ever thought of.
So whatever forms I accept in this world are very difficult to understand in Tattva and Siddhanta. Thus, the hearts and minds of sadhus become extremely fatigued in understanding these forms of mind. Thinking in this way, Lord Achyuta decided to appear directly in the heart and mind of the best sadhu named Vasudev. And seeing this, all the other sadhus became overjoyed. Anantakoti Sadhu Vrinda Ki Jai. Finally, Mataji, not only on earth, but in the heaven also, all the kettle drums, dundubhis, resounded in Swarga. in Swargaloka. And there has to be a good reason. So Sri Hari Suri finally says, this was our final reason. Mataji, did we cover all the 11 reasons?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So Sri Hari Suri says, Swayam sukhi yah sukhinah paranapi karoti loke shviti yuktameva tat sadundubhi swasta iha khileshvapi nijoktitah swasthyawalang chakarayat. So Sri Hari Suri says, Swayam sukhi yah sukhinah paranapi. Swayam sukhi yah. He who is himself happy. Sukhinah paranapi. He makes others also happy. Doesn't he do so, Kirtida Sundari Mataji? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Lokeshu iti yuktam. And therefore, definitely this is, justified. Evatat sadundubhi. Our Dundubhi, Mataji, was also swastha. Kirtida Sundari Mataji, you know Hindi. What is the meaning of swastha?
Swastha means healthy,
Healthy, happy.
happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, healthy and happy. Sadundu. Our Dundubhi was swastha, Mataji. Our Dundubhi was swastha. Was our kettle drum
Yes,
swastha, healthy and happy?
Yes.
Or Mataji, look here. Was it swastha, situated in swa or swarga? Like we say,
Oh,
grihastha, situated in house, grihastha. Similarly, swastha, situated in swarga. Our Dundubhi was swastha, located in swarga. And also, it also made everybody else swastha, very happy and healthy. Does it sound like a good reason, Mataji?
yes, Prabhuji, definitely.
So in all these ways, dear devotees, our Bhagwan, before his appearance, made the entire earth extremely pleasant, extremely blissful for each and everyone. Dear devotees, I tried to denote a very small fraction of all these environmental changes that occurred just before Janmashtami. Because right now it's not Janmashtami. Right now it's just before, Bhagwan's Janma. So these were all the environmental changes. And I hope I could transport some of these environmental changes in the chamber of your hearts. And I hope all of you could feel some of these environmental changes within your heart. I would like to thank all of you very much for kindly inviting me here to speak on this appearance of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Yadatra skalitam kinchid vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. If there are any faults in what I spoke, vidvamsa, you're all learned people, purayantu tat. Please, do not mind those mistakes. Please correct all those mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. But if there's anything nice in the katha, any slide, any verse, any line, any word, any syllable, or even half a syllable, please know that tad guroreva. It belongs to my Gurujanas, me nahi. It doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much once again, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, for helping me out in the presentation. Thank you all the organization or the organizers of Bhakti Sanga Japa conference. And thank you, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, for kindly inviting me here. Thank you, everyone. Once again, a happy Janmashtami to all of you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. All glories to Hari Suri and all glories to you who was translating his wonderful work and, sharing with all of us. Wonderful, wonderful session. So, Prabhuji, just one small question. Like
Yes.
you said about Ashtami and Rohini Nakshatra together is Jayanti, right? So now for us, till 4 o'clock is that Kartik.
Kritika.
Kritika Nakshatra.
Yeah.
But after 4 o'clock means
Hmm.
4:30, 12 o'clock Krishna will appear, right? But after
Yes.
4:30 is Rohini Nakshatra.
Very nice. Yes.
So it's a Jayanti for us? Or?
Okay. So it is very important to understand if it is Jayanti for us or if it is not Jayanti for us. Because your question once again, I will make it clearer for those who have not understood. The question is that, you have Ashtami till 4 o'clock in the evening, Mataji? Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So you have till 4 o'clock,
Yes,
you have
Prabhuji. Till 4.
Yeah.
Hmm.
till 4 o'clock, you have Ashtami. But then after that, Navami Tithi starts, and you are saying that, it is aligned with Rohini Nakshatra, right? You are saying?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So till 4 o'clock, you are saying there is Kritika Nakshatra. I'm sorry, till 4 o'clock, you are saying there is Kritika Nakshatra, and after 4 o'clock, there is Rohini Nakshatra. Yes. So there is a verse about that in Hari
Rohini
Bhakti.
Nakshatra.
Yeah. So there is a verse, about that in Hari Bhakti Vilas, and I would like to point out that verse. I think it's verse number 340. So I'll quickly scroll to verse number 340, and I will show you the verse. Can you see here, Mataji, Agni Purane?
Yes, Prabhuji.
अर्धरात्रात् अधश्चोर्ध्वं kalaya va yada bhavet. So kalaya va, even if for one kala, a small fraction of time, if Rohini is aligned, then Jayanti nama sa prokta, then it becomes known as Jayanti. So this is, so even if for one kala of time, if Rohini is aligned with Ashtami, then it becomes known as Jayanti. So maybe where you are staying, it is for one kala of the moon also, if Rohini Nakshatra is aligned, then it becomes known as Jayanti. But here in India, this is not the case. So I hope that satisfies your query.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranams. Almost Shri Prabhu, very nice explanation. Thank you for that. So I have a follow-up question, like with the question of Kirtida Mataji. So today, at what time we need to exactly celebrate Prabhu? Already Ashtami has started here, right? So we can do the puja anytime or only in the midnight.
So the
Here
puja
in
is
this-
supposed to be done as Ratrikal. So when Ashtami ends, Navami begins, that was the time when Bhagwan appeared. So that is the time when the Acharyas have, told us that we should, at least for us, Srila Prabhupada has told that we should do the puja. So that is when we perform the Abhishek of the Lord as it was specified to us by Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, so it means like in the midnight only today we can do that.
Yeah. What does midnight mean? Midnight, earlier the clocks were not like, we did not have Western clocks, like 12 o'clock. So what does midnight mean? When one tithi ends and the other tithi begins. So that is what midnight is considered to be.
Okay, so means at 4:30 today evening, if it is ending, we can do it at 5 o'clock or
Yeah,
4:30.
Yeah, but
Okay.
still, a standard has been set to do it at night, because that is what the precedent was set. So especially if we are doing it in a temple, then we should follow the precedent which has been set by the acharyas of our institution. So I hope that makes it clear.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you about the point of Kavi Hriday. Some people are born with the Kavi Hriday or the poetic, you can say, ability, and some can become, or you can have this Sahriday or likeness to a Kavi. So can you speak about it? How can we become Sahriday to a Kavi? And generally what happens is when we hear the kavita or poetry in our mother tongue or the languages which are very much accustomed to, it gives more pleasure to our heart. So can you
Hmm.
please throw some light on?
Yeah, okay. So the first question is that some people are born as poets, and some people, become poets by practice. So what is the Siddhanta behind this? So you want to know the Siddhanta behind this? That is the first question.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
true.
So I studied a poetics work called Chandra Lok. So there is a work on Sanskrit poetics called Chandra Lok. And in Chandra Lok, in the first chapter, in the 6th verse, the author Jaidev, this is a different Jaidev, not Jaidev Goswami. So this Jaidev is from the western part of India. So author Jaidev says, and it's in front of us, and sorry, it's not in Roman. So those who cannot read Devanagari will not be able to see this, but I'll recite it. So he says, Pratibhaiva Shrutabhyasa Sahita Kavitam Prati Hetur Mridambu Sambadha Bija Panktir Latamiva. So Pratibha. So Omkar Prabhu, what is Pratibha? Please tell me, what is the meaning of Pratibha?
Pratibha is his talent, or basically.
Yeah, talent. So talent acquired from birth is known as Pratibha. So Pratibha eva, it is talent which is acquired from birth, and Shruta Abhyasa Sahita, mixed with Shruta, hearing from a guru, and Abhyas, personal practice. So Kavitam Prati, Hetur. So it becomes the cause of good poetry. Just like Mrid Ambu Sambadha Bija Panktir Latamiva. Just as Bija Pankti. So just as there may be seed in a ground. So the seed is like Pratibha, is like talent. But it needs soil and it needs water. Similarly, we may have talent by birth, but it needs guru's guidance and it needs practice. So this is what is the opinion of an expert poet like Sri Jaidev. So I hope that satisfies your query to some extent.
Yes, true. But how can a person who does not have that hriday, or maybe that seed, how can he develop the appreciation towards poetry or relish poetry?
Such a person can relish poetry by association of other kavis. But it is the opinion of expert kavis that one needs some pratibha. Pratibha means, you need some, it says pratibha buddhi vishesha. You need some specific type of intelligence to be a poet. Now, such intelligence may be acquired in a rare case by association with other poets. But mostly such buddhi is the outcome of previous births of study. So that is what is indicated here.
Yes, true.
So this is for
And Prabhuji, can you
composition.
speak about?
It's for composition.
Yes.
Appreciation
Okay.
you can have at in any life, just by staying in association of the existing poets.
Yes,
Right?
true. And Prabhuji, can you speak about this point about the poetry when we listen in our mother tongue or the languages which we are accustomed to? They give joy to our heart more easily.
So yes, the poetry which is translated, basically, you can say, poetry which is translated, it gives greater joy than poetry which is in Sanskrit language. So there is a very nice verse about this in the Sanskrit language. What is the joy of translations? So there is a very nice verse in the Sanskrit language, and I would like to show this verse. So, and this verse says that, basically the message of the verse is that if you eat betel nut directly, does betel nut eaten directly appear more sweet, or betel nut which has been chewed by a lover and then given to us appear more sweet? What appears more sweet, Omkar Prabhu?
Which has been chewed by the lover and offered to us.
So that betel nut appears sweeter. Therefore, poetry which is in Sanskrit is good, but poetry which has been translated into our language is like that, betel nut, which has been offered to us. So therefore, that is what appears, very very joyous, very rasik to us. So I'll try to find that verse, but this is the essence of that particular verse.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. Just like Hari Sori, you are also a great poet, Prabhuji. I have heard many of your classes. Thank you for sharing such poetry, composing such verses. I have a question. I was thinking that generally to express humility, it is said, holding a blade of grass in the mouth, Dante Tirna Dhari Gora. So, I mean, it expresses humility, but how does it expresses humility? I'm not able to understand that. If you can kindly elaborate, Prabhuji, on this.
Sure. See, there is one difference between the human mouth and the animal mouth. So the human mouth can perform the function of eating, but the human mouth can also perform the function of speaking and glorifying nicely. So the animal mouth can perform only one of these two functions. Which function can the animal mouth perform, Prabhu?
He can only grace. He cannot glorify, he cannot speak in that sense.
So a human who simply holds a straw without saying anything is showing himself to be like that animal. I hope you are able to understand.
So, I mean,
so an animal,
or showing is a foolish kind of like, I'm foolish.
Yeah, I am foolish and
I
worthy.
don't know much.
Yeah, I am foolish and worthy of taming and becoming domesticated by you. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Bro, I have a question, but it's a little unrelated to the topic. Proji, we speak about the Aprakat Leela in Vrindavan Dham. So, how is it different, the Aprakat Leela in the Bhaum Vrindavan and the Leela in the Golok Vrindavan? Is it the same or the different? The terminology is Aprakat and Prakat. Can you please clarify that?
The Aprakat Leela here in Bhauma Vrindavan, you're asking, right?
Yeah. Yes, bro. And how is it different from the Golok Vrindavan?
Yeah. Aprakat Leela in Bhauma Vrindavan and Aprakat Leela in Golok Vrindavan. So Bhauma Vrindavan is a Prakash. It's a replica of Goloka Vrindavan. Bhagavan and Bhagavan's associates who are present here are also Prakash Vigrahas of Bhagavan in Goloka Vrindavan and the associates in Goloka Vrindavan. So they are all Prakasha Vigrahas. Now, what is the difference? The difference is, there are a few differences. The difference is that this Leela, particular Leela, it sometimes becomes manifest in front of the eyes of the devotees who are staying here. And that Leela never becomes manifest to anybody from the material world. That Leela is only manifest to somebody who has entered the spiritual world. So some minor differences are there like that. Otherwise, since they are Prakash Vigrahas, so there is not much of a difference. Some minor differences. There is a difference of geographical location also. So this is geographically, this is in the material world, Ekpad Vibhuti. And that Leela is in the Tripad Vibhuti. which is beyond the Virja river, beyond Brahmajyoti. So there is a difference also of geographical location. So that's all. These are some minor differences, you know. There may be other differences, but these are some minor differences between both the Leelas.
Bro, at the time of the Leela also, manifest Leela, it is said that parallelly there were two Leelas going on in the Bhaum Vrindavan only, Prakat and Aprakat. And simultaneously in Golok Vrindavan also there is a Leela going. So I think they use this terminology Prakat, Aprakat, Prakat, and then Prakat. So there are, I think, these three terms.
Right. So even when Krishna is manifesting his pastimes, it is Dwapar Yuga, it's Prakat Leela. Are all the details of the spiritual world revealed? Can they be revealed in the material world?
No.
Because the framework is not capable of taking, the framework of the material world is not capable of taking all the details of the spiritual world. Therefore, even in Prakat Leela, something remains Aprakat. That's all. It's a very simple thing to understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hare
These are
Krishna,
all.
Hare Parshad Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Yeah, Jai.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Yeah. No, I'm saying to Omkar Prabhu, these are all aisa simple concepts from Sandarbhas, but you have to do manan, like think about it from different points of view, and then read also all the sections of Krishna Sandarbha, and these things will be clear. So for somebody who has read the Sandarbhas, these things will not be a big difficulty at all. Yes, Sureshwar Shamprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhu. You are mentioning, Prabhu, in the class in the beginning about different dishas, right? Directions. So, my question, Prabhu, these are also the different. So, are there 4 directions or 6 directions, Prabhu? That's one question. And the directions are also Devi Devatas, right, Prabhu?
So are there 4 directions or 8 directions or 6 directions? 4 or 6?
Yeah.
Total, they are known as Dasha Disha, 10 directions. Okay. Have you heard the name Dasharath, Sureshwar Shamprabhu? Yes, you heard the name Dasharath?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
What is the meaning of Dasharath?
Who has one in 10 directions, Prabhu?
Dashasu Dikshu. Dashasu Dikshu. Ratho Yasya. Dasho Dishao mein Rath jata hai jiska. In all 10 directions whose Rath goes is known as Dasharath. So that is the meaning of Dasharath. So directions are 10. What are the 10 directions? The 10 directions are Purva, that is east, then Dakshin Purva, southeast, Dakshin, south, and then there is this Nairitya, Vayavya. So these are all the southwest, northwest, Ishan, northeast. So like this, there are 8 directions, and then there is up and down. That is 9 and 10. So total 10 directions are there. So Purva, Paschim, Uttar, Dakshin, Ishan, Vayavya, Agneya, Nairitya. These are the 8 directions. And Upari and Adha, these are the 2 more directions, total 10 directions. So I hope you're able to understand that.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. So these are also the Devi Devata representation, Prabhu. There is one Devi or Devata.
Yeah. So
the...
Disha is itself Striling Shabda. Disha is feminine in gender. But the lords of the dishas are masculine. All of them are masculine in gender. So the presiding deities of all the dishas are masculine. So one reason also what Sri Harishuri gave is the dishas became happy because the dishas, the ladies, because disha is feminine gender term. So dishas were thinking when our Bhagavan will appear, then what will have our lords, means our masters who have right now run away somewhere because of the fear of Kamsa, will come back to their original positions and we will be able to meet our lords again. So the dishas became very happy. So this is another reason. The Disha is in itself a feminine term, but the lords of the Dishas are all masculine. Right?
Yes, yes. Makes sense, Prabhu. They became happy. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. I have a question related Janmashtami. Like
Right.
I have heard of other Vrajvasis celebrating Janmashtami, like birthday of Krishna, like his father, other gopis and motherly gopis. But I don't know how Radhika sides gopi, like Srimati Radharani sides gopis and Manjari celebrate Janmashtami. Can you like tell about it?
When Krishna appeared, Srimati Radharani had not appeared because Krishna is elderly to her. Right? We should not fall to the common misconception that Shri Radha is elderly to Krishna. That's a misconception. So the proper conception is that Krishna is elder to Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani had not appeared when Krishna had appeared. She appeared later. So obviously she had not appeared during the first celebration of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. That's a very clear Siddhanta. Otherwise, how will there be a difference in their ages? So that's very clear. So they're not of the same age. And how were subsequent Janmashtami celebrated? So subsequent Janmashtamis are celebrated every year by Nanda Maharaj, giving a feast and, inviting all the Vrajvasis and also all the, residents of Varshana. And so in this way it is celebrated. So those are described in the Acharya's books. But the first the appearance, the first celebration of Nandotsav, she was not there because she had not appeared. So that's the answer to your query.
Yes, Prabhuji. I was asking about subsequent like other. I know that in first she was not present in Nanda.
Yeah. So in subsequent, she used to come with Maharaj Vrishabhanu, and Maharaj Vrishabhanu used to be invited by Nanda Maharaj. And Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Shri Rupa Goswami says, Shaishavepi Tarunyam, that even in his childhood, he used to display symptoms of adulthood. Now, if I start going in this direction, the talk will become inappropriate. So it's better that I don't go in this direction, because what Krishna does in his childhood with Srimati Radharani and the other gopis is something which should be read in a private audience. So those who are interested, I will give you the key if you are interested and if you are eligible to read it. There is a section in Padyavali called Shaishavepi Tarunyam, adulthood even in childhood. So you can refer to that, and if you have the adhikar, if you don't become agitated by reading what is given there. So that's what I would like to say in this regard.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my Dhanvat Pranam. All those Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. What a fantastic class on this auspicious day, Prabhu. Prabhu, do you have some more time, Prabhu?
Yeah. I have time because Krishna has not yet appeared, so I have time. No problem.
Okay. Prabhu, so would you like to sing a bhajan on this paper, on this auspicious day, Prabhu, for us?
See, my voice is like a frog. So somebody else can sing the bhajan maybe at the end of the class. My voice is good for answering all the harsh questions. That's what my harsh voice is good for, answering the questions. So maybe somebody else can do the singing of the bhajans who has a sweeter voice. I really, when I hear my own voice, I feel like sinking in Patal Lok. I think that, who is this frog croaking on YouTube? There should be some sort of, regulation of such voices, such harsh voices on YouTube. But maybe somebody at the end can sing, or, but I'm good for answering questions. I hope you agree, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Sure.
But maybe I'll sing I'll sing two lines, I'll sing two lines, and so that it doesn't spoil everybody's Janmashtami, I'll sing only 2 lines. Is that okay, Mataji?
As you wish, Prabhu, definitely.
Okay, sure. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Mama Manasa Madhukaram Marpaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande. Mama Manasa Madhukaram Marpaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. That's it. Those are the 2 lines.
Jai, Jai, Jai. Very sweet, Prabhu. Very sweet. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
That's good. That's good encouragement for a frog.
No, no, Prabhu. No, no. Please, please.
Roji, can I say something?
Yes, yes.
Roji, I'm just sharing. It's like a tooth for a tooth, and so, pin for a pin. And for a hard-hearted person like me, if you're saying you have a hard voice, it's a perfect match. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you're taking a big risk if you want to subject your hard heart to my hard voice. But, still it's your heart and you want to take the risk. That's up to you. Okay. Anyways, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
The voice is filled with the glorification of Krishna, so I'm happy. Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhu, I have a question. Like this is my personal question, Prabhu, not pertaining to class. So we do japa on whatever Guru Maharaj give during our initiation. So while we are going outside, Prabhu, I don't feel that appropriate to take my beads to go outside and do japa wherever I go or sit. So can we take at that time other japa beads and do japa on the beads? Will the japa will count?
So when we go outside, there are some devotees who take a spare set of japa beads. Because I have been told that devotees sing that in case our beads get lost when we are outside, then it is the spare set of beads that will be lost, not the original set of beads. And I can understand that. And I can understand where that is coming from. And at the same time, it would be nice if one can ask one's guru to at least touch one's spare japa beads once. So if it is possible, one can ask one's guru to not chant a full round, but at least touch mercifully one's spare japa beads. So that, if somebody who does like that, somebody who has a practice of keeping spare japa beads, also the spare beads are touched by the guru. So in that way, that connection is there. So that way we'll have best of both the worlds. So I hope this makes it clearer.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. This doubt I have for so many days and so many months. So while going out, I don't want to take my guru's beads. So I want to keep some other in spare, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the principle is that the beads have to be blessed by the guru. So at least by his touching, or at least by we can take a verbal permission that Maharaj, by your permission, can I chant on these spare beads when I go outside? That's all.
Okay, okay, got it, got it. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, dear devotees, anybody would like to share their realizations, or do anybody have any questions for Prabhuji's class? Okay, Prabhu. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming on this special day and showing and giving a wonderful class, Prabhu. And I cannot stop by saying, I cannot end this call, Prabhu, without saying my heartfelt thanks to your wonderful wishes on this auspicious day, on my birthday, Prabhu, giving your auspicious blessings unconditionally. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And only Guru Vargas will give this wonderful blessings, Prabhu, and you have shown your mercy giving these wonderful blessings to me, Prabhu, on this day. I cannot forget. Thank you so much. And with this, Prabhu, with your permission and with all the devotees' permission, I would like to end the class, Prabhu. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, I'm incapable of giving blessings, but my sincere good wishes that, may all auspiciousness from all directions come to you on this day, this year, and let the year be filled with joyous bhajan and seva. I pray for this. I am younger to you in age, I think, Mataji. So how can I give you blessings? So, but I can definitely pray.
But Vaishnava's blessings are always merciful, Prabhu. They will come always auspicious to me. Thank you so much, Prabhu. So with this, I would like to end the call, Prabhu.
Yeah, but today's your birthday. So what are you going to do for the Vaishnavas?
I'm going to do service in the temple, Prabhu. I'm going to do service at the temple.
Okay, very nice, Mataji. But today is Janmashtami, but tomorrow you please feed some sweets to at least one Vaishnava. It would be nice.
Okay, sure, Prabhu. Sure. Wonderful. Yeah, I will do that. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Okay, I would like to end the call, Prabhu, with your permission. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Prabhupada jai. Janmashtami ki jai. Janmashtami ki jai. His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu ji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam to all
Thank you so much,
Vaishnava.
Prabhu.
Happy
Krishna.
Janmashtami.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti koti dandavat pranam. Srila Prabhupada celebrated.
Thank you everyone for joining today's class. We'll meet again on
Thank
Monday
you.
mid-morning. Happy Janmashtami for everyone.
Thank
We'll
you.
closing the call for today.
Happy